I have to ask you, you mentioned that you are writing Gabe's story.
Right.
And it's so interesting because in the book, I'm going to give a tiny spoiler away. I hope this is okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
But he calls himself, or he's known as kind of the angel of death.
He doesn't call himself.
But
Everybody dubbed him that. Yeah,
dubbed
he's
him
dubbed
the
that.
angel of death. And because there's been an accident in the past.
Right.
And we see a little bit of that coming back to haunt him in the form of Miss Waverly.
Right.
Who is the sister of the person who accidentally passed away.
Right.
And we see her in this book for briefly, but there's a lot of heat there. Is that what we're going to get in Gabe's story?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's going to be him in Virginia. And I think the reason it's giving me fits is because, you know, he raced her brother. Her brother died as a result. It was a very reckless race that they shouldn't have run. And she blames him for that. And that makes it hard because it's like, okay, she's going to marry the guy who killed her brother. But, of course, it was an accident. It's not like he stood there and had a duel with him and shot him or anything. I think that would be hard to get past. And I think it has to come to the point where she has to decide that, you know, Gabe was as much, you know, Gabe has survivor's guilt. That's his problem, is that he, you know, he thinks he should have handled the whole thing differently. And he was 19. They were both 19. They were young and stupid and did a stupid thing.
And the thing is it very easily could have been
the
Gabe
girl
that
wasn't.
died.
I mean, yeah,
right.
Yeah, it could.
And so it wasn't like he purposely set up
right,
the friend
right,
or anything like
right,
that.
right,
It just
right,
happened.
Right. And the issue of who laid down the challenge becomes a big thing in the next story and everything. So
how many Hellion books do you have scheduled? Like how many?
Well, right now it's 5. But I may do a book with the cousin, and if I do a book with the cousin, it'll be 6. So, you know, depending on how he turns out. I mean, he may turn out to be a complete jerk in the next book. I wanted to say another word, but I figured I better not on camera. But anyway, he may turn out to be something I don't like because I haven't drawn him yet, you know.
So there's a lot of movement there. You don't necessarily know the entire series going in. You kind of.
I mean, when I planned it to be 5, but then I thought about maybe expanding it by 1. But I think 6 books is about a limit for a series for me. I really do. I think it gets to, although, you know, and I know, I mean, like Stephanie Lawrence has Endless Spinsters, and lots of people do the really long series. I've just never set one up like that. I kind of like to have them have a sort of a story arc and have an end and a beginning, and I've never done one of the Eternal series, you know, or even longer than 6. So I think 6 will probably be the limit, and I don't know if it'll go to 6. I mean, I think it'll have a very much a feel of the end at 5, and the 6 may be kind of an add-on as opposed to it ends with the 6th book, if you know what I mean.